Now let's join Pat and the staff nurse Hazel, working through a problem in the counselling session. Notice the way Pat uses the force field analysis in a concise and specific way that enables Hazel to consider an action plan. Pick up on the way that the nurse begins to feel more hopeful as the session continues. The session has been going for several minutes, and Pat now introduces the model to Hazel.
It seems as if you've got quite a lot of things blocking you.
Yes, I think.
There's a problem-solving mechanism called force field analysis. I think it might be useful if perhaps I explained how it worked, and then we could just run through the system with you, and at the end of that we can come up with an action plan that you might be able to work towards. Would you feel comfortable with that?
Certainly would, yes.
Find it quite useful?
Yeah.
Right, good. But force field analysis is a system where you're identifying your goal. So you'd write on a piece of paper what your goal is. So your goal would be to move from task allocation to primary nursing.
Yes.
Yes? On one side of a piece of paper, we would list all the things that would hinder you from developing this. On the other side, we would list all the facilitating forces, all the positive things that are there that can help you. And then the idea is that we try and move back the things that are hindering you and pushing forward the things that are facilitating you so that you're moving on. And then we could develop an action plan from that. So just let's run through it. Your goal is to establish primary nursing. Right. Tell me, what are the things that hinder you? What are the negative things?
I think the strongest thing I can feel is that the sister in the ward is unwilling to change.
Right, right. So you've got a sister unwilling to change.
Yeah.
Right. What other things are hindering you from that?
I think probably staffing levels aren't what they should be either.
Right. So inadequate staffing levels as you perceive them to be.
Yes.
Yes, good. Right.
I think lack of knowledge as well by the team in general. A lot of the girls really don't know how to progress and really don't know what primary nursing is all about.
Right.
They just see their work as task orientation.
Right.
And I don't think they realise that there is a better way and a more successful way of doing things.
Yes, so it's moving them on from there.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's three hindering forces we have at the moment. Is there anything else you can think of that would hinder you from meeting your goal?
Enthusiasm, probably.
Enthusiasm, right, right. Low enthusiastic levels.
Yeah.
Right, okay. That's fine. Good. That's four things that we need to take a look at. Now, on the other side of that coin, what are the positive things that are there?
Basically, we've got a good workforce. There's a good bunch of girls who happen to get on very well together.
Right.
And I'm sure who, if given the right pointers, would be willing to change if they're well informed. And
Right. So you've got a willing workforce.
yeah.
Right. Anything else that would help you?
I think we've kind of what we're working at the moment. Although it's busy, it has busy periods. It also has fairly quiet periods where we can spend time and we can work through things together.
Right.
We can improve it that way, I think. Yeah.
Good. So you've got time available,
yeah, time available.
At intervals. Excellent. Good. What else? Is there anything in terms of training aids in the ward or access to tutors? Is there anything like
we
that?
have a college of nursing actually in the hospital.
Right, good.
And very willing to be involved.
Right, right.
And also nursing officers, etc. They're very keen for things to progress and willing to help the staff in general.
Right, that's excellent. Good. So if I can just recap that for you. The things that are hindering you from achieving your goal is a ward sister who's unwilling to change, lack of knowledge among the staff, low enthusiasm levels. Right, these were the three main things on that side. On the positive side, you've got what you feel you've got a core of good workers
Yes,
in the ward,
definitely.
right? You've got the desire for people to move forward. You've got the continuing education department and the nurse managers are willing to give input
Yes.
into that. Right, that's excellent. So from that, how would you feel about us working out an action plan?
I would be very grateful if we could, yeah, I think.
Right, right.
I really feel we need it at this time.
Yes. Can you think of ways of pushing back the forces that are hindering you?
I think really we've got to inform the staff, we've got to show them that there is a better way.
Yes.
I think also I think the sister of the ward needs to be made more aware of
Right.
what's going on and
Right.
that we need to progress, I think.
Right.
I
Right.
think maybe
Right.
she seems to me to be the biggest problem that we have.
Right. Right. So you need sister somehow to be brought up to date and be brought into a more open attitude.
Yeah.
Right. What else can you think of that would? Could you perhaps think about something along the lines of getting the continuing education department
Yeah.
involved?
Yeah.
Right.
I think the girls need to know that there's people out there willing to help them and that there is
Yes.
that there is ways of improving it.
Yes. Yes. Right. Good. Okay. So we're talking now about trying to get ways of sister being more open and more involved and getting the continuing education department in. What contacts have you got with the continuing education department?
Well, I've completed professional studies and I spent about 3 or 4 months with them, so I know them pretty well now.
Yes.
They're very easy to contact, they're only a few minutes down.
Yes.
They're very, very open, very easy
Yes.
to talk to.
Yes. Can you think of any ways of actually getting them involved in the ward situation? Would they be open to coming up to
Yes.
the ward and giving some input at that level?
Yeah. We also have student nurses in the ward, so we have an input from that department as well.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
good. That's excellent. Well,
They're
that's
also-
a very valuable asset you have. And that would be getting the continuing education department to come up to the ward and perhaps spend some time during one of your quieter periods.
Yeah.
Right. The input from the tutors from the College of Nursing, they would be quite open to spend some time perhaps discussing aspects of nursing. Right. And can you think of any ways that you can help to get the sister enthused?
I think it would probably be quite good for her to actually speak to someone in continuing education on their own. I think sometimes she feels threatened because we seem to be progressing
Yes.
and she seems to be sort of lagging behind.
Yes.
I think in a non-threatening situation where we're not all sitting there
Yes.
picking on her, and
Yes.
because I think when she's not there we tend to complain about it. We never seem to complain to her
Right. Right.
one-to-one. So maybe some time alone with someone from continuing education might.
Can you do anything to encourage that?
Well, I think most days I go into work and to discuss some of the ideas I've had with her,
Yes.
and they just kind of keep plugging away, hoping to
Right.
try and break through, but it's not.
Right.
It's very difficult, but I do try, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And as do some of the other
Yes.
colleagues as well.
That's good. That's good. That's great. So from that then you're going to get the continuing education department involved at the ward, and you're going to get the tutors from the College of Nursing involved, and you're going to continue plugging away at sister and just gradually easing her into this.
Some new ideas.
Some new ideas, yes. Is this a sort of situation that you would be comfortable with?
Yeah, I think it would be, because I've been trying now for a good few months and it's becoming a everyday occurrence for me.
Right, right, right. Would it be appropriate, do you think, if you put some sort of timescales on this so that your action plan is being targeted in a specific way?
Yes, I think.
Yes, yes, Right. So you could perhaps think about setting some target dates where you would get the tutors involved in the wards, and you can start and work towards that. Great. So is that something that you would feel would be a positive step for you to take?
Yes, definitely.
Right. Good. I think it would be quite useful if we could talk again, perhaps in a week's time, once you've contacted these different people, and we can perhaps see how you'd feel, how it's progressing. You comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Right. Fine. We'll make an appointment then for us to meet each other on Tuesday next. Better make it in the afternoon during the overlap, about 2:30.
Lovely, yeah. Thanks very much for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
State the client's goal. Hindering forces, facilitating forces, plan of action.